Just listening to the news a few minutes ago, and it's October the 3rd. I'm thinking all this stuff's behind us, but the Catholic Church was in the news again for the pedophilia and the priests that they shuffled around, and they talked about 4,000, could be more, blah blah blah, that are involved with things that happen. But in all fairness, though, they're not the only guys that were doing this stuff. I mean, look at what's coming out in the residential schools. Look what's happening. People are really getting fed up. And it's about time that we just get these people out. If they've come out, if people had a past before, you may have the view that, oh, these perverts can't change. Maybe they can. I don't know. But here's the thing. I don't believe they're in the gene crap, that the gene, they got the gene. That's nonsense. I believe in the no discipline. They got no discipline to control their emotions like a rapist or a murderer. We all want to do crazy things, but to control your emotions, and to think that somebody has those thoughts of kids or whatever just makes me sick to my stomach. And the very worst thing that you can do, any organization that would harbor pedophiles, accusations of pedophiles, people that know full well that members of their association or religion have this tendency or been accused of it, and they hide them, well, only God will deal with you. There's no way that it's going to be remained and hide that person inside an organization, a congregation, any type of an associated membership where that somebody's been accused. I'm not saying every person that's been accused is going to be guilty. Of course they're not. People are going to say, oh, this happened, that happened. It happens all the time. But a lot of them are. It's all coming out. You cannot hide the creatures inside your organization and still claim to be the right way to deal with people and to teach people and to have a freeness of speech of people that would normally not be smothered by guilt, knowing that others have had their children molested and touched at a young age. If you feel that that's okay with you to have your organization do that, then that's your choice. You can be part of that. I don't criticize any of the Catholics that are still believing to be a Catholic. I'm not criticizing any, fringe groups that I know have had inside an organization. It's happened. They cleaned them out, got rid of them. They cleaned up the problem. You have to clean up the problem. You can't leave it there. You can't pretend this doesn't exist. Or one better is you can't have someone who's come to you with a complaint and then just kick them out and say, oh, you're not part of our club anymore. Well, who would do that? Well, what kind of a person would do that? And then have comments that state, you've got to come forward and we'll protect you. We will love you. We will show you the compassion. But yet, it doesn't seem to be how it works sometimes. The whistleblower or the person bringing this to leaders or the authorities, and if it's a religious group, the authorities in their organization have the obligation to do what's morally right. First and foremost, morally right. Some people and some organizations believe that they have to follow the law. That's true. You have to follow the law, pay your taxes, do what's right, don't break the law, et cetera, et cetera. But yet that is tightly knit to, do I report that there are those that have done this and don't do it? And they leave it to state or provincial law to decide who can be reported on and who not. No, that's nonsense. Here's the bottom line. You have an obligation, whether that's a state or provincial law or any law, in, if it's a tree standing up and you got to smack it and the leaves come down and say, oh, you don't report them. No, that's not how it works. You report them all. And I'll tell you something else. When you've been around as long as I have and seen dirty tricksters do things and walk away scot-free, and I can talk about being scot-free, and I can talk about having people walk away because it's happened with me personally, not on this level of this type of perversion, but perverted justice. Where's the justice for people? You can watch and read all you want and study and think you're a righteous person and well, I'm going to be liberated. This person did this. I'm not going to look. I'm not going to get involved with it. And was their past, whatever nonsense. You have people inside troubled organizations right now today that are being completely ignored. And here's the best of it: everything that those that are in power are doing are being watched. Now, if you don't believe in a creator or God, well, you might want to start thinking twice, because I'm going to tell you something I really believe is you are going to be rained down on, and it's not going to be a righteous paradise that's going to come your way. It's going to be the same sentence that you've told others they're going to get, because you are hiding sick perverts. And I wish you all the best. I really, really do. It'll be nice to see what happens when you are on that fence yourself, because you have ignored pleas and cries from people, and you just call everybody, oh, you're an outsider now. Of course, Yeah, you know what? Sun Life Insurance, they kicked a few people out for complaining that they moved in 1977 to Toronto from Montreal. Oh, yeah, people are complaining. That's what people do. They have comments, they have feelings, they have emotions. I'll tell you, the people that suppress the Taliban says, oh, don't talk against us. Never say anything against us. And, they've got a good policy. Just we kill you. That's it. If you talk against us, we kill you. So why would people that follow Jesus, or why would people that have an anchor in business that says, this is as far as we go, we're steady, we're still, we're right here, and we're going to back up. What is your problem? Well, you've had this happen to you. Why do they have harassment courses? Why do they have, to teach people don't say this or don't say that in our politically correct world? But yet, some of you are hiding the very ones you claim that you don't want to be part of this new world or a new era, if you're looking at it from a secular point of view. Why would you hide perverts? Are you related to Donald Trump? Like everybody I want to see get out of jail, they're all sickos? Like, who are you related to? If you claim to be higher and better in your position as a teacher or as a business leader, I think that you would come clean before you have zero people that want to work for you. You know what I'm saying? Those of you that are reading exactly what I'm saying, you know exactly what I'm saying, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. And I don't care, because here's the bottom line. Just say no to the perverts. They do not belong if they're not willing to change. And furthermore, it's not up to you to decide if this is therapeutic for someone who has been through something wrong, that has actually they have been victimized, for you to turn around and say, no, we don't like the way the story, we need a lot of people to say it. We're not taking your word on this. That's the sickest thing I've ever heard in my life. Most people, when they have a bad event happen and they go to a parent or to a relative and say, this happened to me, that happened, there's always a bit of a tendency for people to think, that's not true. I don't believe you. I've had it happen. And in this particular case, people are not listening. I don't know how to say it any more than you're not listening. Now, before you diagnose yourself, with depression or low self-esteem, you first have to ask yourself this question. Are you surrounded by a bunch of idiots? You don't need to be checked to know. Those that have been victimized, you've been talking to idiots and you haven't gotten any response, because these people, they're idiots. They're not wise men. They're not the leaders that they claim to be. I wish they were. I wish people in all organizations would have a pattern set that they would go and get rid of the garbage that's inside these organizations. They've got secret societies out there, they've got churches, they've got, you name it, it doesn't really hide anywhere. Eventually it comes out. I think his name is Andrew, Prince Andrew. I don't know what he's done or not done. I'm not going to pass comment on that. But there again, he's seen with the guy in New York doing the thing, and the questions are coming out. I think, what are they up to? Like, are they, we're just, we're sharing, recipes. Like, no, what's going on? We don't know if he did anything or not. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying everywhere you look, high profile figures, and then you go to the church and you go, wow, I thought my kids were safe. Yeah, ask those at the residential school how safe those kids were. Or ask people that have been associated with very tightly knit religion. And then when their kids spoke and said, we've had this happen to us, these people are still in your organization and they haven't been dealt with. My first reaction is, well, I want to stay even more. I want to bring my kids and my grandchildren to that organization. I want them to sit and listen to be a good citizen and ignore anything wrong that ever happened. But I'm going to tell you the truth. Here's the truth. Those that heard those cries and didn't follow up, you're the guilty ones. The people you kick out of your organization, they're not the bad ones. There's going to be the odd one that's a nutcase that's going to say this happened, that happened, it didn't happen. We all know that. But statistically speaking, you know exactly what you're doing. And suppressing and holding back and not removing those that are in that position, it's on you guys. Somebody may think, I have a cure. I've got the cure. I have the cure. There's no other cure. My cure works. Here it is. Here's my cure. You might have the cure. You might be right dead on with the cure. But I'm going to tell you something. You took the cure and you flushed it down the toilet when you stop people from saying, hey, you're doing the wrong thing. When people have emailed you, when you have had phone calls, and you've had every single person disgusted with your hiding pedophiles. Maybe then you might think, we've got 4 members left. We used to be 10 million. What do you think we did wrong? Do you think us hiding the fact that we didn't want it to get out, we kept it quiet, we kept it to ourselves? You think that helped us? No, it didn't help you. You freaking idiot. Made it worse. Nobody wants to associate with a pedophile organization. Don't you get it? If I wanted to be part of a pedophile organization that turned away and shunned those that complain, I would have just stayed where I was. I would have done other things. Maybe I would have joined the priesthood. Shame on you. I will never, ever back or support any organization that discourages its members from coming forward to talk about past atrocities that have happened to them. Disgusting. The most disgusting of all the things, worse than any leader that we've had in the history of mankind. What is happening right now with the pedophilia across this world and inside organized religion is sickening. And even government's intervention does very little to make them deal with this. How do you make any organization do anything? You really cannot. Short of going in with the military, we're going to take over your whatever your beliefs or your magazine company or whatever. We're taking over your chocolate factory. We found out we can't. You can't legislate these things into people and say you got to do this and they're going to become robots and follow. No, you got to have a reason to do it. Those at the top of any organization have to be sickened by pedophilia and sickened by children that are coming forward now as a young adult. That's usually how it works. A person hits 20, 30, 40, 50, and they come back and say, I've had this happen while I was inside this, someone taking the lead, someone inside the structured organization has done this to me, and you ignore it. It's nice to write about not ignoring it. It's fantastic to say, we don't ignore it. But what you write and what you say you're going to do, or what you encourage people to do now today, you have never done it. All you do is kick people out. There you go. That's the truth. Have personal experience that I'm not going to discuss. Not me personally, but people I know and I continue to know. And each time my heart breaks, because with some structured organizations, they could be a little loose with their moral conduct. And you probably even expect that. But with others, you don't, like religious institutions. You see it inside government, you see it here, you see it there. It's a little, but when it starts to hit associations that are known for having moral compass of sorts, whatever the background may be, I'm not picking on one group over another. All of you. You got to wonder why people are sick and tired of religion. If we wanted our kids to be sickened by being molested and pedophiles being inside, we would just go and join Babylon, of the old days, or have a freaking buy the old Hershey factory and line everybody up for the giant freaking fire orgy with the children. What kind of a world are you living in? And you, every single one of you window cleaners at the top, you're going to pay. You're going to pay because you're not at the top, because you're getting a pat on the back. You've just taken power. The real power is the people like myself and others that will have the courageous message of, you're sick, sick bastards. So enjoy your time you have left. And I will enjoy my time making sure that me, my family, and my grandchildren are never forced to face a residential school outbreak again. We've got a COVID outbreak. We've got the Delta virus. We got a lot of viruses going on. But I'll tell you, next to these viruses, the pedophilia virus that's being hidden inside organized religion, it has to stop. And how anybody can sit and just read business inside their organization, whether it be their business or commercial or government, and just, I'm just going to read, look, they're not. No, here's what it says. It says we're going to clean those. Our mandate is, so we have a mandate here, and it says we don't keep those type of people and hide them. We get rid of them. Look, it's Skyline News. Give me a break. You're guilty. All of you at the top, every single one of you at the top, you're guilty. And those of you that are not at the top, those of you that are down but know what's going on, you're guilty too. And those of you that attend and associate with those that allow this to take place, guess what? You're guilty too. So what may have looked like a righteous dude operation years ago, it's turned out to be sort of like an Aunt Jemima. You're a bunch of racists. In this case, not racist, just sexist, because you're not really getting rid of anybody. You're getting rid of the people that have had it happen to them. Sir, I'm sorry. I can't. I've had this happen. I go, yeah, well, you know what? I don't like the way you're talking about us. I don't like what you're doing. You're talking. No. Yeah, what are they supposed to do? Send you a smoke signal? Okay. The residential schools make me sick, what we did to our human brothers. The religions that are harboring and still continuing to harbor. Take a close look. When people tell you, I know there's such a person or such persons with an accusation, that's it, that's enough. I will not expect anybody to accept anything I say or believe me, and whether I'm guilty or not, until there's been a reasonable judgment, investigation, check, whatever, whether it's done through your company at work, whether it's done through a government, a process, whatever, or a religious institute. No, I'm going to step back. I'm going to say, okay, do your thing. I say I'm not guilty. That's fine. You may not. Probably you're not. I've had that happen. I've had people tell me I'm guilty when I wasn't. Oh, hey, just we're going to read you something about being guilty. Yeah, get out of my house. Here's the thing. The thing is, you're guilty. And this is only going to get louder. Only going to get louder. With people, when they have strong media connections and they're threatened with lawsuits, they sometimes just say, I don't care. It's time to stop the nonsense of hiding these perverts. Just say no to perverts. Now, why I say perverts? Because we talk about pedophilia. We haven't talked about rape. We haven't talked about homosexuality between adults. So if you hold a moral code and your moral code says you're going to follow a certain guideline, if it's a religious institution, it might be the Bible, it might be the Quran, it could be different things that you believe in that you hold to a high standard, and these perverts are not allowed to be in it and shouldn't be around it. Or get rid of them. Get them arrested, put them in jail for the rest of their lives. Whatever you got to do. If you're not doing that, if you're not encouraging that, then you know what you are? You're a supplier of pedophilia. You're a supplier of peddling pedophiles. That's what you are. You are now making it so, hey, you know what? I know a place I can hang out and I can meet kids. And if I get caught, I can just say I didn't do it. And then I can get them kicked out, but not me, because I'm really clever. Maybe you have a secret agenda. Maybe you have a secret agenda book on how to deal with stuff, secondary. That's better than the Bible or the Quran or something, right? Yeah, no, doesn't work like that. Sick is sick. The men at the top of some organizations need to be removed. And I don't really care myself anymore. I'm so sick of it. Been dealing with this for years on seeing a structure of the world just fall apart. And why not? It hits, look at the church. I mean, how many good Catholics have there been? Okay, you say there's lots of bad, whatever. But a lot of people that believe that. They believe in their institution. You can go through Pentecostals, you can go through Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, you name any organization. You can say the good that some of them done, like they meant well. Doesn't mean it's always going to stay like that. Because if people start to take things into their own hands, if those at the top of the heap think that they've got the right ideas, just the local little nobody in the corner can go and say, well, that's wrong. What are you, stupid? Have you cleaned that many windows at the top of your organization that you started to smell the sauce? You're drinking your own Kool-Aid? Come on. We're an educated world. You can't hide anymore. If you're sick, pervert, you're going to be found out. Get help, get it cut, whatever you got to do to stop it. I'm going to tell you something. It's an agenda that's not going to go away. Now, I'm sure there's going to be something to go, we got Mike, he's going crazy. He's telling us we can't do that. Yeah, I'll work with anybody to stop you guys. And I don't care where you're from. I don't care what organization you're involved with. I will stop you. And it's something that I thought was really a minor thing. And then you saw all the pedophilia come out, about 10, 20 years ago, and different organizations not sure how to deal with it, and all the sexual crimes and so on. We're talking about the kids right now primarily, because we're dealing with, our poor brothers, our Native brothers and sisters that went through all this, and there's still some going, oh, I don't work, they won't get a job. Just shut up, okay? You have no idea what you're talking about. And I don't care what anybody else says. I've got my opinion. I know people. I've started my first business busting my butt day and night with two very good people that I'm proud to say I knew very well from the Ganawaki Reserve near Chateauguay, near Montreal. and I thrived. And they were good workers and they worked hard with me. You know what? The idea that people don't work or their customs are different, they don't move as quick as you do. Are we turning into a bunch of racists? Those people had their children taken all over this land and America and other places. Their kids were taken from them because we wanted to turn them into us. Oh, when you say us, do you mean pedophiles? Is that what we are now? Just a group of hiding each other? No, we're not going to take it. And at the top of every organization, you will be toppled. You're going to be toppled because here's the big mistake. You should just go hire a media company, spend the next year having your people, instead of promoting you, your company, your way of life. How about this? How about you go out and you admit the mistakes you've made, and you then ask for every individual to come and be forgiven because they didn't, they should ask for, you should ask for them to forgive you, I should say, because you kicked them out because they spoke. They told you what happened. I'm so sick of, I would never believe this in my life. Never would I believe in my life that I'd see what's going on. You're all guilty and you're all going to pay for it. Just like the Nazis have paid for it over and over again for what they did to the beautiful Jewish people. And they just, no, we're not, no, you saw it coming. We allowed it to happen and people died. And there's still naysayers out there saying the Holocaust didn't happen yet. I'd like to slap them around for the rest of my life. Okay. Pedophiles are united. They're going to the local religious institutions and they're hiding there. And we're not doing anything. So here's my message to you. If your organization, your government, your local government, whatever level of government, whatever country you're living in, if your religious organization and your commercial organization, your business, if their policy is to hide and not admit these things, it's the wrong place to be. I'm done for today. God bless.